Morning YouTubers, welcome to Weaste Allotments. This video is all about the shed, an update on the shed, what we've been doing and what we're going to be doing. Now, as you know, we've been droning on about we need to cut all the wood, we need to move the compost bin where we're going to be putting the shed. And basically we've not been doing very much, but what I have been doing, yeah, that wind out there guys, 70-mile-an-hour gusts we've been getting, up to 70. The average is about 40-50, but we had some real strong gusts on here. Anyhow, excuse the wind, but let's get back to this build. So I've been saying, yeah, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, but what I've been really doing, I've been getting all the parts together. It's no good starting something if you ain't got the material to do the job. You're just wasting your time. So anybody out there who's going to be building a shed, these are the rules. Make sure you get all your timber, all your screws, all your felt, everything you could possibly think of, paint, your wood stain, the whole shebang. Get it all before you start to build it. The base, that was a tough one. That I was going to put 9 paving stones down there, 2x2s, to give me the 6 foot by 6 foot footprint of the shed, because the floor what we're building, it ain't going to be a wooden floor. It's going to be a paving stone floor. So I thought to myself, 9 of them, they might start to move over a period of time. So I thought, I was starting to think there, rather than do them out of 9, do them out of 6 3x2s. So you go, put 2 together, there's your 6 foot, and then 2 more either side of it gives you the 6 foot, so you got 6 by 6. So you're only using 6 of these paving stones. So I was talking to my friend, I said, look, so I've got a problem here. So I've got the paving stones, but what I really would like to do is to make them out of some 3x2s. Now this lad gets them all the time. He says, Mark, so I've got your problem sorted, mate. Says, yesterday a friend of mine brought me a load of scaffolding boards, sorry about that. He says, I got a load of paving stones dropped off, and there's some 3x2s there. He said, you can have them, how many do you need? I said, well, I'll need 6, I'll take them. I said, well, yeah, so the problem is, I said, I've got a load of paving stones down here that I won't need. He said, well, just swap them out. So we can use them, because we're building where the stage is on the allotments. We've actually got a bit of a stage where we have acts and we have parties. So what we want to do is put paving stones down along the front of it, and that's what we got these paving stones for. So it's just swap them like for like. So that's great stuff, mate. So anyhow, got my mates brought me 6 down. Cost me a bottle of wine. I had 24 bottles. I think I've got about 19 bottles of it left. Great for doing getting people to do things for you. That wine's and that was that wine that I grew. I made. Well, I did grow it. I actually grew the grapes. So you know. But anyhow, he brought them up and took the other ones back. So now we got the base. So the next thing was cutting the planks. But with the weather, it's been absolutely horrendous. Like 60-mile-an-hour gusts of wind down here. Rain hasn't stopped. But on Monday we got a break in the weather. So we had an opportunity. So this is what we did. So check out these videos, guys. Be right back. Morning YouTubers. As you can see, there's a break in the clouds there. The sun's actually just coming up in the east, so I'm just going to see how many of these I can cut up before it starts raining. I've got my little rip saw there, and it cuts through this like butter. I've just set my tape measure out here, square there. 1820 they're going to be, these. So I'm going to cut down this line. I've got to do, I think there's a total of about 19 to cut, so that's 10 planks I need to do the back, the roof, and I need 2 for the front, and then I've got to cut all the small bits. What I've been doing as I'm going along, I'm taking this strip, it's like a little strip what goes on the end of this board here. I remove that, and then that by the way, that edge is straight, so I don't need to cut that edge, thank God. Come along here to mark it out to here, and then I can get 2 lengths out of this plank here. I've not bothered taking the end off here because that's what I'm left with, fortunately for me. This won't go to waste because I'm going to give it to my old mate Jim Bob for his log fire. So anyhow, we're going to crack on because, like I say, the more I talk, there's every chance it's going to start raining again, and that's the last thing we need while we're doing this. Right, I'll see how far we can get and I'll come back and let you know. These are being cut to 1820. I'm using a small rip saw because it's too much messing about getting the generator down here, or one of the generators, and the chop saw. So I'm using this rip saw here to do the job. Easiest way to do it, to start your wood, pull back, get your little groove, and then small purpose strokes, no force in it. Simple as that. There we go. Nice straight edge. What did that take? 10 seconds? And that's how easy it is to cut these scaffolding boards. It's took me longer to mark it out than it basically is to cut it. It took me about 10 seconds to chop through that. Like I say, you've got to get yourself a really good saw. The one I'm using is a Stanley. I think I bought it from B&Q. In fact, here it is. That's the saw. It's only about 18 inches long. And it goes through this stuff like butter. It's absolutely fantastic. And to make it go even faster, rub a bit of wax on the blade and it goes through really quick. But yep, that's how easy it is, guys. And you don't need to put a lot of effort into it. The saw does the cutting, you don't have to force it. That's what everybody seems to make the mistake when they're cutting. When they're using one of these, they always seem to make the mistake of forcing the blade through the wood. The wood should, the saw should cut the wood, not you. So when you're cutting your wood, remember, let the saw do the cutting, okay? Right, I've got to crack on because, like I say, the sun's come out today, and well, it's been the first time for a long time, but we've had a bit of sun, so I'm going to get as many of these as I can done, and then get them in this greenhouse, because they've got to dry out in the greenhouse for a couple of weeks before we can do anything with them. You can see the dry, if you look, I don't know if you can really see it, but if you look on the end of that plank here, you can see they're almost dry. It's just the outside that's damp. So once we dry the outside, to a satisfactory standard, then we can start building the sides. Right, anyhow, let me crack on, and I'll see you back here in a bit. What you're looking at there is basically the 6 foot by 6 foot shed. All the scaffolding boards have all been cut to size now. They're in here drying out. It'll take a few weeks for them to dry out to satisfactory to what I want. You're probably all wondering what the sizes are. Well, and how many planks you actually need to do a 6 foot by 6 foot shed. Well, I can tell you need 19 planks of 1820. You need 17 planks of 1745. You need 3 planks of 1570. And you need 14 planks of 575. Now, one of these 1745 planks, what you've got to do, you've got to cut it in half, because this is a part of the side. So you cut it from this point here, and you go right the way across to that other corner on the opposite side. So you've got to cut a straight line. So this will be going home, this plank with me, and we'll be cutting it on the bed saw. Now, if you can imagine, this here, what you see out all laid out here, is going to be a mirror image on this side, and then we're going to have 3 of these planks here. Are going to sit. That's going to be the door. So, if you can imagine, it's going to sit. Well, it's basically. How can I do it here? It's pretty difficult. There's a board what goes along the front, along the bottom, and there's a board what goes along the top along here. And then you actually make your door. That's going to be your door frame. But like I say, it's all cut now. So I just need to cut the studding and drill all the holes for the studding, and then it's just a piece. It's a piece of cake putting it together. But what we're waiting for is for it to dry. Now I'm going to show you this drop here, what I mean about this drop. So we'll turn the camera around and we look at the shed here. You can see the drop, so I've cut it in half. And what we do with the opposite side, we use it on the other side to make the shed. So this is basically, what you're looking at here is exactly the same as this shed here, the one what I'm building now. This is the same width. And it's also going to be the same length, because it's going to be basically a square box, like a wedge on the top, just like this. And that's what you're going to be looking at when I've actually finished it. As I'm talking about these lats here on this door, where the door frame is here, and you see how this is here. Well, can you imagine it on this side's the same? So I'm going to come step back around here a bit so you can see it more clearly. So basically, forget about the window. What you're looking at there is basically how the front of the shed's going to look when I finish, just like that. You see the batten across the bottom and the batten across the base, and then all these smaller lats all fitting. Now, when we put the battens to fix it all, we're going to be sticking them just over the edge of the door, so when the door shuts, it's against it and locks against it. So, and like we said, we use these battens here to fasten all this together, and we do it like on the roof as well. If I don't know, you can really see up there. You see the battens there. Them are the sort of battens I'm going to be using, and I'm using screws. I don't use nails. I've never used nails to building, but I'm joining wood together. But the nails, the screws that I'm going to be using are 70mm and 65mm and 60mm. Now I've got all the screws. So basically, that's what we're going to be looking at when it's finished. And that's the door, what I was telling you about in the greenhouse there. It's going to just look like that. There's going to be 3 scaffolding boards long. It's 1570, that door. I've got the handles, all the bits and bobs, so you know, it's just a matter of putting it together. But yeah, that's what I'm doing, guys. I'll show you more as we progress along. I still haven't got the felt for the roof, and like I say, I I might even have to go and buy it. I'm waiting for my mate there to drop it off, but you know, I don't like to mither people, but we'll probably get it within the week, so it's going to be a couple of weeks before we even start the build. But that's what you're going to be looking at. So if you can just picture that there, that shape, that's going to be basically what the shed's going to look like. All this on this side here, it's going to be a bit shorter, but it's going to look good when it's done, and it's going to give me some space inside that shed. I'll be able to put all my tools and my wheelbarrow in it when it's finished. But there we go. So there we go, shed has all been cut. It's all inside the greenhouse here drying away. Now it's going to be like that for another 3 weeks, 4 weeks. We've got to dry it out, and we've got to dry it out slowly. We can't dry it out too fast, because if we try to do that, what will happen is the wood will split and crack. We want it to be, how can I explain it? Now, you've all heard the story of Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Well, we don't want this wood to be too wet, and we don't want it to be too dry. We want it in between. The reason why we want it in between is because when we put it together, we don't want the planks to swell up much more than they are, because they'll just pop out of the frame. In the summer, when the sun gets on it, it bakes the wood, and what happens is the wood contracts, so we don't want big gaps like that in the wood. Now we get around that by putting silicone in the joints, but the wood still expands and contracts, so we've got to get this happy medium. Now the wood's drying away nicely, and I reckon about another 3 to 4 weeks. So that brings me now to the hard standing outside where we're going to be putting the shed. So this compost bin's got to go. It's full of compost. I'm going to pour the compost into the front part of the plot, into the beds, and build them up a little bit. But we don't know what we're going to do with the actual compost bin, whether to give it to someone or to break it up and use it for something else. Now it's a very good compost bin, but I don't know what I'm going to do. Now if I was to just say to someone, put it on the notice board, who wants a compost bin, come and get it, it'd be gone. It'd be gone that in 5 minutes. So that's not a problem getting rid of it. It's just, do I want to get rid of it? A bit of a womble, you see. I like to collect everything. Uncle Bulgaria collects everything and you can use it again. Recycle. that's my middle name. But as soon as that goes, we can put the hard standing down, let it all level and all flat, and then we can start building the shed, because we've got all the wood, we've got all the joists, we've got everything, we've got the felt. Like I say, my friend, after I finished that last video, my friend comes over and said, "Hey Mark, here's that felt that I promised you." Oh, I could have come over 10 minutes earlier and I could have shown you the last video, but no. Anyhow, so I'll show you. Yeah, this is the felt what we got for the roof. Well guys, I was just saying there, I'm going to have to go and get myself some of this roofing felt, because my mate hasn't shown up. So as soon as I put the camera down, what happens? He shows up and he's brought me this roll. He said there's about 20 foot of it. Now I need 3 pieces of about just over 6 foot, so if I can get a couple of inches over 6 foot and on each piece to go lap over the sides, we've cracked it. Got the roofing felt for nothing. Bernard, great mate of mine, he had the roll of it. He said, "There you go Mark, that do this shed that." So we've got the roofing felt now for the shed. We've got all the hinges, we've got the lock, Aston staples, we've got the handle for the door, we've got all the different size screws. Now 90%, 95% of this shed will be used screws to put it together. What we need is some 60, 65, 70 milli long screws, the 5 milli variety. Now I've got boxes and boxes and boxes of them, so we've got all the screws. which brings us on to how we fasten all these planks together. Now you've seen in the clip there, brief clip, where I'm using studding. Now I've had to pay extra for this studding. The last lot what I got for this other shed I was given, so I didn't have to pay a penny, but I've had to pay. It's broke me out having to pay for it. It's cost me 30 quid for 16, I think 16 or 17 lengths of this. It's 66 by 38 by 2.4 meters long, these planks, and like I say, that's the dearest part of this shed. So what I've got to do now with them, I've got to cut them to size and pre-drill all the holes. That is nothing. But we've got all the studding as well. So what do we need? There's one or two other little tiny bits that we need. Now while this is drying, I can get these bits, and what the bits are, what I need is for when I build the door, I need to put some straps across. If you look at the old shed door, the old doors of the past, you know, if you ever lived in a townhouse and you go out to your back door, you see the way that you got your members coming down, and then you've got this like zigzag going up. Now I need to get the wood for that, and the best stuff that I can think of what to use for that is some decking. What you use for decking, it's like a rippled sort of on one side and basically flat on the other side, as you just saw on the shed door there. So I need to get 2 lengths of that, and blow me, someone's going to bring me a couple of lengths. So we just need that, and there's a bit of trim what goes around the roof. We've got everything else. So that's how far on we are with the shed build. So I hope you've enjoyed the little chat on it, and I haven't gone to sleep on it. So now that we've moved and we've cut all the wood up, the compost bin out there now can be emptied and moved. The only thing is, I'm not too sure what I'm going to be doing with it yet. So it's going to be a couple of weeks. I'll come up with some sort of idea whether I can save it or whether I give it away to someone else. So there we go. Hope you enjoyed the little clips I just put together. So we are doing something with the shed. It's just we're taking this time and we're getting it right. And that, to all my friends on YouTube, I think Tony he's building 2 sheds. We've got Sean, he's building one. I think Muddy Boots, Nigel, he's putting one on an old lady's, and that's a good thing he's doing there. And there's several other people building sheds as well, and it should be interesting to watch everybody building the sheds. I say I'm going to document it how I build mine, so you can build one straight after. I tell you, you don't have to be a rocket science to build one of these things. It's so simple. I bet I could train my monkey to do it. That's how easy they are, and that's how easy I'm going to make it look for you all to do. So when you see it done, completed, you'll be going up, you'll be mugging every scaffolding truck that you see, trying to get yourself some scaffolding boards to make one. Right, I'm off. If you like the video, there's a little chicken here on the left hand, the right hand side. Why not subscribe? That's where you can subscribe to the channel, guys. You don't have to, but you know. But to everybody else, all my subscribers, thanks for watching, guys, and all your kind comments. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye from Weaste Allotments on a quite sunny day. Very unusual. Bye bye for now.